In the international arena, talking about North Korea is like talking about that mysterious neighbor whose house is hidden behind tall fences. You can only guess what's inside. The latest buzz says there's a treasure hidden in the mountains, not gold, but a secret missile base. The Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, in Washington, D.C. just spoke up, claiming that North Korea has a secret military site near the village of Sinbong-dong, only a stone's throw, 17 miles, from the Chinese border. If this were a Mobile Legends game, the spot is like a base camp purposely placed near the enemy's turrets so it's tough to raid. This story was first raised by the Wall Street Journal, citing CSIS's report. They said the base, named Sinbong-dong, most likely stores intercontinental ballistic missiles. Not just any missiles, bro, but the kind that supposedly can carry nuclear warheads. Just imagine, if this were a concert, those missiles would be like the sound system. Once it's on, it's not just the next village that hears it, but the whole district, province, and maybe even the whole continent. CSIS issued a warning that these missiles could pose a nuclear threat to East Asia all the way to the United States. So this isn't just, your neighbor just bought a new motorcycle, but more like, your neighbor just bought a tank and parked it in the garage. According to the report, Sinbong-dong is just one of about 15 to 20 ballistic missile bases North Korea owns. They also have maintenance facilities, support systems, plus warehouses for missiles and warheads. Basically, it's like a convenience store franchise, lots of branches, strategic locations, and never publicly announced. Funny thing, the report was called the first in-depth study from open sources to provide confirmation. So it's not coffee shop gossip, but serious research. Still, there was a funny typo. They even mentioned Al-Qaeda at one point, even though they were clearly talking about North Korea. The timing of this revelation came right after Kim Jong Un shouted about the rapid expansion of his country's nuclear capabilities. As Sundanese people say, better hurry up, don't be slow, or someone else might beat you to it. North Korea has already declared itself a permanent nuclear state. Like a secret marriage that finally goes Instagram official, they've posted the marriage book for the whole world to see. It's official. The chilling part is, the report claims the missiles in that base could reach the US mainland. Not only does this make Asian neighbors tense, it could also make America very nervous. CSIS dug deeper, revealing that construction of the base began in 2004 and became operational around 2014. Just like an MRT project, long to build, but once it's done, suddenly bustling. Interestingly, the location of this base only came to light recently. Super secret, bro, even Google Maps was late to the party. CSIS figured it out by gathering interviews, non-classified documents, satellite imagery, and other open-source info. Think of it like Detective Conan's investigation, but in a geopolitical version. Victor D. Cha, former U.S. National Security Council official, said this is definitely not good news. In slang terms, bruh, this is not good vibes, it's pure negative energy. Cha also warned that these missiles could be launched in very short notice. So trying to destroy them before launch is nearly impossible. It's like typing in a Wi-Fi password wrong over and over, you're out of time before you get it right. The plot twist, the Sinbong-dong base was deliberately placed very close to the Chinese border. Not a coincidence, but a strategy. Why? According to the report, it forces America to think 1,000 times before deciding to bomb it. A single mistake could hit Chinese territory. Complicated, right, like playing soccer with one goal but two goalkeepers, one from the opposing team and one from a neighbor. If you think about it, Kim Jong Un is like a pro gamer who places his base camp near a safe zone. So when enemies attack, they hesitate. Man, what if we hit the wrong player? Up until now, North Korea still stubbornly refuses to give up its nuclear arsenal. They're like someone clutching the karaoke mic. Don't even try to take this away, this is my favorite song. The US and its allies are clearly stressed. Negotiations are tough, playing hardball is tricky. Like a long-distance relationship. Far apart, full of misunderstandings, and meetings are always full of drama. For East Asia, this makes the situation hotter. Japan, South Korea, even Taiwan must be thinking, damn, what if we're the first ones hit? And when Asia heats up, the whole world feels it. Economy, trade, even K-pop exports could get caught in the domino effect. Meanwhile, China is stuck in a dilemma. As the closest neighbor, they may not want to get dragged into a fight. But if the US takes action, they could also get dragged in. Here's a patent poetic rhyme to ease the tension. Went to the market to buy papaya. Don't forget to grab a watermelon too. If nukes are ruling the world, then suffering might spread everywhere too. This issue is clearly no small matter. One wrong move could mean it's not just two countries fighting, but a conflict spilling globally. CSIS said this report should be a wake-up call for the international community. Don't get too distracted on TikTok, and then suddenly, boom, a missile is flying. For regular folks, news like this can be confusing. What we need is stable chili prices, not ballistic missiles. But that's geopolitics, bro. Sometimes it's more complicated than paying off your motorcycle installments. As the saying goes, prepare an umbrella before it rains. In this case, the world probably needs a bunker before missiles fly. In conclusion, North Korea's secret base in Sinbong-dong isn't just some cheap rumor. This is the real deal that could shake Asia and even America. So, world leaders, stop wasting time debating. Time to think of solutions before nukes become trending content every week. Another Panton to cool it down. Ride a Delman to the old town. White shirt on, with a red hat. If the world doesn't take care now, doom might arrive sooner than we expect. Looking back, North Korea has long been playing cat and mouse with its missile program. Every time the world puts pressure, they usually respond with a nuclear test or a military parade, showing off missiles as long as the lines for free groceries. Those parades have even become Pyongyang's version of a fashion show. Paris has catwalks of fancy clothes, North Korea has catwalks of missiles. The difference is, the audience doesn't clap, they hold their breath wondering, are those real missiles or just props? The US has tried negotiating multiple times. From President George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, to Joe Biden, they've all tried their own styles. Some used sanctions, some offered economic aid, some tried sweet talk at the table. But the result? Nothing. North Korea keeps being stubborn. As Indonesians say, scold them all you want, they'll stay naughty. Trump even made history by meeting Kim Jong Un directly. That meeting was hyped like a Korean drama in geopolitics. Sadly, the ending wasn't happy, it was more of a, to be continued. Now, with the new report about Sinbong-dong base, the US and its allies have even more reason to worry. This isn't just a, maybe threat, but a real one with a clear address. Just imagine, a base that close to China really creates a dilemma. If the US bombs it, the risk of conflict with Beijing skyrockets. China is definitely thinking hard. They don't want a big war in their backyard. But at the same time, they can't openly defend North Korea either. It's like being forced to choose between fried rice and fried noodles, both are tempting, both are tough to choose. Japan isn't any less anxious. North Korea's missiles have already flown over Japanese airspace a few times. Citizens even got emergency alerts on their phones, like a Shopee flash sale notification, except this one's about missiles. South Korea is clearly the most tense. They're the sibling living next door who constantly fights. If a missile actually launches, Seoul will be the first target. This situation makes East Asia the hottest hotspot in the world right now. If conflict really erupts, the global economy could collapse. Supply chains, oil prices, even tech exports would take a nosedive. Analysts say the world must take North Korea more seriously. Sanctions alone don't work, negotiations alone don't work either. What's needed is a more creative and realistic combination. The problem is, what does more creative even mean? Are we supposed to make a TikTok challenge for nukes? Of course not. The point is, diplomacy needs a new path that makes Kim Jong Un feel secure without constantly threatening with missiles. For ordinary people, maybe all we can do is watch from afar. But believe me, this issue can directly affect daily life. From fuel prices, food costs, to overall economic stability. If the world fails to control North Korea's nuclear ambitions, the ones who lose aren't just the big countries, but all of us. Mainstream editorials usually close with a reflective note. So here's the thought, the world is standing at a crossroads. Either let nuclear ambitions keep growing, or find a way to stop them before it's too late. The existence of Sinbong-dong base is solid proof that North Korea is no longer just a paper threat. They're serious, deliberate, and full of strategy. The big question remains, is the world ready to face the consequences? Or will we just stand by and watch until this drama explodes into a real tragedy? Because one wrong move won't just impact East Asia, but the entire globe. The world must realize, nukes aren't toys, and Sinbong-dong isn't just a village name, it's a symbol of a very real global threat. The existence of a secret military base in Sinbong-dong is not just news that can be shrugged off. The international community must read this as a loud signal. North Korea is strengthening its position as a nuclear state, and they are not afraid to show their teeth. For years, many nations hoped that economic sanctions, long-winded diplomacy, or even promises of cooperation could change Pyongyang's course. Yet this latest report proves none of that is enough. North Korea remains consistent, building and fortifying its military infrastructure behind a heavy veil of secrecy. The Sinbong-dong base is just one puzzle piece in North Korea's larger military map. By placing it near the Chinese border, Kim Jong Un's regime isn't just testing America's patience, it's dragging the world into a diplomatic dilemma. Striking the base risks provoking Beijing, ignoring it means accepting a nuclear threat inching ever closer. This shows one thing, the world is walking on a fragile tightrope. One wrong step could spark chaos. The missiles inside Sinbong-dong are not just advanced metal, they're a reminder of how fragile global security truly is. This editorial reminds us, North Korea's nuclear threat isn't just a regional problem. Its ripple effect will cross borders, shaping daily life across the globe. From economic stability to energy prices, to continental security, everything could be affected. It's time for world leaders to abandon half measures. A new strategy is needed, a blend of diplomacy, pressure, and stronger international cooperation. The world cannot keep waiting and hoping Pyongyang changes its mind on its own. History has shown again and again, ignoring global security problems only makes consequences worse. Sinbong-dong is a blaring alarm, warning that time is not on our side. So the fundamental question remains, will the world dare to act, or stay silent until it's too late? In the end, the international community can no longer turn away. Sinbong-dong is proof that real threats can grow in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. Humanity's shared task now is to make sure those shadows never become a destructive reality.